Okay guys, welcome to Light and Build 2024. We're on the KNX stand at the moment. We're here with Michael. Thanks for having us, Michael. And you're going to tell us, let's start first initially, what do you do with KNX? What's your role?
I'm the product manager for ETS, so it's my role to make sure the ETS is targeting the right audience. It's also fulfilling the needs of the audience. And today here, together with my colleagues, it's my role to show ETS and to explain it to whoever's interested and has questions.
Okay, well, let's have a look at what's new.
Here. Yeah, what's new is last week we've released ETS 6.2.0, and the biggest change here is we added KNX IoT. And I think you had these talks with my colleagues before. KNX IoT adds just another medium type, and it allows manufacturers to add even more devices to the market. Yep. KNX IoT offers, I think my colleague told you this, offers an open source spec, and so that way you can have a shorter time to market. I think from a user's perspective, we will see many more IoT devices in the next months and years. It's simply where the realm of building automation goes, right? With ETS.
And I mean, for people that are not aware as well, for our customers, the KNX Association sets the specification, yes, and then the manufacturers move to make products to that specification. Yeah, so it's a process.
Yeah. Luckily we can count also on our members, on the manufacturers, to help us with the specification. Yes. It's a joint effort, but indeed we maintain the specifications, and then the manufacturers build devices. We test also against these specifications. Yep. All of this is compatible. And the same stands still with KNX IoT. So we have, of course, for a long time we had KNX Twisted Pair, the famous green cable. But now here we also have KNX RF and RF yep. Multi, and now since last week also KNX IoT.
Okay, great. Can you show us how this all works?
Yeah, sure. Like before, KNX IoT devices need to be on a line for KNX IoT. It's an IPv6 line. Still, like before, like Twisted Pair, you need a router. Excuse me. And with the router, what it does is it connects the IPv4 range, the KNX Net IP range, yep. to IPv6.
So would you say it's like a translator?
It is like a medium coupler, yep. Indeed. Yeah, like you have on the Twisted Pair to IoT.
So it's taking IPv4
to IPv6
and back.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and it does the segment coupler. It does the security proxy also, yes. because KNX IoT is secure.
Secure, yep. Very important.
But you might want to use a group address from the IoT range in secure. You might want to use it somewhere else, yep. where it has to be plain because the device does not support it.
Correct.
And so the IoT router does the security proxy. And these prototypes of IoT devices here, they have, of course, like any other device, they have objects. Yep. And we try to make sure that it stays the same, so the users know and are familiar with this. So these objects, you link them to group addresses.
So it's a seamless integration. It's just a different media.
It's a new media, yeah.
But with much more security around it and keeping up with the latest IoT.
Exactly, yeah. Of course, like before, also IoT devices have parameters. So nothing changed there because it needs to be, like you say, seamless for the users. Yeah. We have, sorry, man. Very good. We have, of course, also added KNX IoT to the monitors. So you have group monitor where you can debug any KNX IoT installation.
Which is essential for doing this kind of work.
Exactly, it's essential for the integrators. We just need to wait for some traffic, because the IoT devices try to be energy efficient. So these prototypes there, they measure temperature and CO2 and relative humidity.
So at the moment, what you're saying is these IoT devices, to keep the bandwidth down and keep the power requirements down, you've got them just momentarily
They sleep because these are battery-powered devices.
Right, okay.
So we need to wait a moment for them to send something. They will send, these ones are configured to send temperature, a CO2 value, a humidity, but only every, I think, minute or so. Yep. So we just need to wait for that to come up. But then you will see it's actually integrated well, just like any other device. And so you can really see the traffic. Also. There we go.
Yep.
And you see here now, this is the device that sent it. It's an e-ink device from Cascoda. It's a prototype. Yep. Not yet ready for the market, but it has an address. It sends a group address, a temperature value, And you can see all the IoT information here as well.
Wow.
You see the co-op payload, it's
Yeah.
23.29 degrees, so
Yep.
all of this is in there to really allow the integrator to debug an installation.
Great.
And we have also here, if I stop this now, I change to another interface. If I change to here, to our twisted pair range, I would see the same addresses also on both sides, because the group
Right.
addresses need to go to
Go
the twisted
both
pair.
ways. Yeah, bi-directional.
Indeed, yeah.
Yep.
So this works all really well. And the benefit is, of course, I can download all these devices from within ETS, of course, simply by being connected to the installation,
Yes.
simply by being in the same network,
Yes.
and by having the interface set to automatic.
Okay, so in the automatic it'll choose either...
It'll choose the best way to reach
right.
each device for download, either by going through the IoT router
Yep.
into the IP router. It knows it is in the project because it has the serial number, and it finds the serial number in the installation.
So can we have an IoT segment instead of a
Well,
line?
not at this stage because these devices don't allow this, but
Right.
there will be, in the long run, there can be such media couplers that allow
Right.
this as well.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really good. There's a lot of work being done here, and I know this has been a long time coming, but
Yeah.
it's not an easy problem, right? Because we're not just going out creating IoT stuff, we're waiting the IT to come
Yeah, exactly.
become
It
it from itself.
it has been long work in specification efforts with several manufacturers.
Okay.
Now it's the time that we can actually come to this, have it in ETS.
And done in a simple way as well,
Yes,
which is
indeed,
really
yeah.
important.
But there will be also advances there in the future. We can everything we can make simpler, but we need to first have it on there
Yep.
and then extend the capabilities over time.
Okay. Just before we let you go, and
Yeah.
you've been great, tell us a little bit what's happening with ETS 6.3.
Okay, I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
So in ETS 6.3, I'll show another project. The users are well versed in linking objects to group addresses.
Correct.
So for them, it's a common thing to do one of these, and then name the group address and give it and link it to the tool, or to structure the group addresses, import them, and then link them from one object to another. What we are preparing for the future, if I do undo, is we call it smart linking, and that is I have configured my push button to be a switching channel. I link it to an actuator channel,
Yep.
and when I drop this, ETS suggests channel linking.
So this has previously been able to be done through functions in a building.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you've taken that away, and now you can do it directly.
It's still the same.
Well, no, sorry. Not take it away, but
yeah, exactly. It's based on the same concept. We are just extending it now, and so ETS has now detected. Okay, this channel and this channel, they can do a switchable light.
Yep.
So it suggests that function. It is also showing how certain it is about that. I can rename the function because I can say this is my ceiling.
Yep.
It's my ceiling lamp.
Yep.
And it would create that function in the kitchen. If I click link channels, it does exactly that. So it creates in the kitchen a ceiling function.
It does
it's
already.
a switch light.
It's going back the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the beneficial thing is here, when you do this, let's say for switching, for dimming, for HVAC, for energy management, you would have maybe, let's say, 50% of your project covered.
Yep.
And then you can export this into a smart new visualization software like the one we are showing here.
Yes.
And it
creates
builds itself.
Yes, it builds itself.
And you can spend the time you saved, you can spend on customizing there.
And the other thing that I think is important here, especially with IoT, the metadata, which is
it's
imperative.
all about the semantic information, the metadata, to be there, to be available to the tool and to the other tools. It's part of the chain.
So it's really refreshing to see, and I know the association's always working on making things easier, quicker, and simpler, but this is a really big breakthrough. This is.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, look, thank you for your time, Michael.
My pleasure.
We
Nice to have you
appreciate it, and we'll see you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
good.